Today we got the surprise trailer for Project Hail Mary. I'm going to explain why that's actually a pretty big deal, why you guys should check it out, and potentially why it's probably going to be my favorite movie of next year. We're also diving into some of your hashtag mailbag questions, so as usual, all that and more in today's video. Like we said, the trailer for Project Hail Mary just came out, and we got a pretty good look at everyone's characters involved. Ryan Gosling's Ryland Grace, he seems pretty close to his book counterpart. Oh, I forgot to mention for anyone who doesn't know that this thing is based off a book, it is. It was written by the same guy who wrote The Martian. Yep, the same Martian, the movie with Matt Damon being stuck on Mars back in 2015. It won some awards and honestly got some pretty good reviews, so we can probably expect the exact same with this movie. Additionally, the movie is being directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller. More than likely you know them for our fans of this channel, the Into the Spider-Verse movies, but also they directed the 22 and 21 Jump Street movies, along with some of the Lego movies. So it's safe to say that this project is in pretty good hands. Additionally, Drew Goddard, who wrote The Martian back in 2015, or well, in correction, adapted it, is also doing the same for this movie. So the writing is probably going to be about the same. It's effectively safe to say that if you like The Martian, you will like this movie. For those of you guys who don't know what this movie even is, Project Hail Mary follows Ryland Grace, a former 6th grade school science teacher who wakes up on a spaceship light years from Earth with no memory of who he is or why he's there. But as his memories start to return, he realizes he's on a last-ditch mission to save humanity. Earth is dying and the sun is losing power because of a microscopic alien organism called astrophage that's spreading throughout the solar system and draining the sun's energy. If nothing's done, the planet is heading for a mass extinction level event. So Grace is sent out into deep space to figure out how to stop it. Now, speaking of the story, both Project Hail Mary and The Martian were written by Andy Weir, and they both had that same level of humor of guy who's stuck in space and has a pretty good sense of humor about it that a lot of people really liked in The Martian, so I think that people are gonna like this one too. As a guy who's read through the book, I can promise you the same type of humor will exist in this movie, even if the trailer decided to focus on other more space-based aspects. Speaking of, this trailer also managed to make some of the book readers pretty mad when they decided to show off the alien creatures called the Iridians that Ryland will be interacting with. Now, I get from a marketing perspective, it's a fun thing to advertise. Ryan Gosling in space with an alien. I have no problem with them showing off that part of the book, to be fair. It's not really as spoilery and gives the audience of people who don't know about the book the idea that this movie is a little bit more sci-fi than they would think from what the trailer initially showed. Think about it like this, the appearance of Rocky, yes, that's the alien's name by the way. Little spoiler there, but yeah, the name's Rocky. Anyway, think about it like this. The appearance of Rocky is essentially a hook for the movie. While Ryan Gosling himself is actually a pretty big selling point and the story sounds like a one of survival that most people would like, having that little bit of sci-fi-ness in the first trailer will pretty much just give the audience what to expect. So yeah, I don't really think there's anything wrong with showing off the alien a little bit early. And besides, they're gonna spend a lot of time in the movie together, so, you know, I guess just show him off. It's going to be his co-star at that point. Visually, the trailer is gorgeous. It flips between Earth and space. The directors Phil Lord and Chris Miller are mostly known for their animated works and comedies, but they're clearly taking this one seriously. You can still feel their touch in the pacing and the humor, but it does look cinematic as hell. And with Greg Fraser as the cinematographer, he's the guy that did Dune and The Batman. You know the visuals are going to deliver. As for Gosling, this is kind of the perfect casting. He's the guy that always plays the reluctant hero better than anyone else right now. He's funny without trying too hard, and the trailer shows a full arc from terrified scientist teacher to hardened astronaut with a beard, dealing with space problems that no one's ever really had to face. It's clear that the movie is going to rest on his performance, and based on this footage, I think we're in good hands. But overall, audience reactions to Project Hail Mary have been pretty overwhelmingly positive. Fans of the book are just excited to see how faithfully some of the moments and tones are captured, minus the spoiling of Rocky in the trailer, but that's neither here nor there. especially the balance between high-stakes science and heartfelt humor. There's been a lot of praise for Ryan Gosling's casting, with many saying he perfectly nails the mix of panic and charm that defines Ryland Grace. Some are already speculating about how the movie will handle Rocky, although whether or not they can pull up the friendship without it feeling too weird or too cute, that remains to be seen. Rocky is a co-star that doesn't even really speak English. Meanwhile, people who haven't read the book are just impressed by the trailer's emotional weight and visual spectacle. And also, it really helps that Ryan Gosling was cast too, because that man could just sell movies if you just stamp them on him regardless. I can say that I'm genuinely excited for this movie. I loved the book, and I honestly loved The Martian, and for what we got next year with all the comic book movies like Doomsday and Spider-Man, I'm kind of glad that there's gonna be a movie that's kind of a one-off, especially when it comes to something like a big sci-fi epic starring Ryan Gosling. Which is also funny because he's in a movie called Starfighter for Star Wars, but that's neither here nor there. Man, Ryan Gosling really likes going up into space in movies. But this movie also being directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller gives me some additional confidence. Even though they've had issues behind the scenes of the Spider-Verse movies and with their unsustainable management style causing delays and frustration from the animators behind that film, especially on Lord's part, they never really miss with anything that they have a direct hand in. So again, overall, I'm genuinely excited for this movie. I'm definitely going to be watching it first day. I recommend that if you guys haven't read the book, or if you guys want to read it on Audible, you guys put it on because it's genuinely a pretty fun story. But with that, we're going to go ahead and get into the hashtag mailbag questions. If you guys want us to read your mailbag questions, just go ahead and put your comments down below with the hashtag mailbag. This question comes to us from Dill the Thrill, and I chose this one because I've been watching a lot of the newest season of The Bear lately, and I thought it would be fun. Hashtag mailbag. Thoughts on Jeremy Allen White and what character Marvel could possibly have in mind for him? Thanks for the question, Dill the Thrill. Now, we haven't really heard anything yet. If you guys don't know who Jeremy Allen White is, he's the guy from The Bear and Shameless, and he's been exploding in popularity lately. And there have been rumors that Marvel has been eyeing him for a role. Now, what role that could be, we have no idea. Fans and commenters want to see him as one of the X-Men, maybe Wolverine or Cyclops. I'd personally be interested in seeing him as Iceman or maybe Nova or Ghost Rider. Or even throw out a curveball and have him being a villain like Sabretooth. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Louis Pullman as the Sentry, but you can't really say that Jeremy Allen White wouldn't have also been a dead ringer for that role as well. A weird fan casting that I keep seeing online is for the role of Molecule Man, but I don't know if I see Jeremy Allen White as him specifically, but then again, whatever Marvel decides to do with him, hey, they'll do it. Remember, he's playing Rada the Hutt in the upcoming Mandalorian and Grogu movie, so I don't really think there's a weird role that Jeremy Allen White won't do. Either way, you really can't go wrong, but like we always say, we have no idea who Marvel's gonna cast in whatever role, so we just gotta look to the future, and fan casting is always fun. But anyways, that's all I have to say on this. Thank you, Dill the Thrill, for your question. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.